Since you seem to be completely in charge of all the food and drink around here, I'm afraid this is something I can't ignore.
He was an old man. His health wasn't perfect. But I'm not arguing with you. I think it is suspicious. What do you think caused it?
What do I think caused it? A bog dog he ate at the cafe gave him food poisoning.
I keep all my food locked in the storeroom when I'm not here. You think he was poisoned?
I think he was poisoned.
Poisoned by me?
The storeroom was broken into with a lockpick.
A lockpick? I've never encountered a problem like this before. But since last night, am I in a position to doubt a claim like that?
Somebody knew that Remington would eat a bog dog. He ate one every day, right?
Do you suppose this explains the missing bottles of swamp juice as well?
They're mine, but I left them here last night. Now they're covered in slime, and I don't want to go near them. I have no idea what that is. Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets? Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now. I have no idea what that is. Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets? Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now.
I heard from Mr. Vanderpure over there that you were nowhere to be found last night.
Didn't I say I was at the cafe?
Yeah, you did. But your director needed you for some filming, and he couldn't find you. What were you doing that was so important?
Well, let's see. After I ate, I had a walk around the swamp. I didn't have my camera, so I was free to stretch my legs for once.
Where was your camera? Don't you carry it around with you all the time?
No, not all the time.
You left it with Vanderpure, and he used it instead that night.
That's right, he was looking after that camera. So I went for a late-night stroll. This place is beautiful in the evenings.
You just walked around? You didn't do anything? Didn't see anyone?
Well, I can't say that. I have various ways to pass the time, you know.
Vanderpure said you had a hobby on the side.
Is that what he said? Well, yes, he's right. I brought 2 cameras with me when I came here. I left my video camera, yes, but I have another one. It's much smaller, and it only takes black and white photographs. You know the kind I mean?
A really old one?
Yes, I suppose so. I've always enjoyed traditional photography, and this place is a wonderful opportunity to take some pictures of a natural environment.
So, you were having some time off to take black and white photographs? For fun?
Only one photograph. You have to be disciplined when you're not using a digital camera.
Can I see it?
Of course. I took it near the woods at the back of the swamp. It's quite an interesting shot, but the light qualities weren't perfect. Here we are. Feel free to take a look.
Wait, what? This is a photo?
I haven't developed it yet. I only took it last night. Just brush the developing fluid over the photo to reveal the image.
What? Is that Boggy? The swamp creature just standing in the water?
It could be. Personally, I'm not convinced, but I'll let you decide for yourself.
Are we really talking about a swamp creature here? The costume design I found in the trash can explains what Burrow's black and white photo is showing me. My detective's intuition is kicking in. That black and white photograph, I'm not sure I'm looking at the real Boggy here, and I think these designs I found in the trash can might be the answer. I'll ask around, see if anybody knows anything about this. Oh, and I should start looking for the costume itself. If I can find that, there'll be some pretty impressive evidence.
I have something for you.
Another gift already. Where are you keeping all this stuff? You don't even have pockets in that dress.
I don't need a pocket to carry a key.
What key?
I don't know. You could try it on any door you like. Although, I recommend you try it on that office door.
Remington's office?
Mm-hmm.
Even though I have the key, this might not... This door has 2 keyholes. So, which key should I use in each one? The open window looks over the wooden planks outside. Oh, and on one side, a part of the curtain has been ripped off. An old hunting rifle, discarded carelessly near the window. This isn't the kind of thing I can ignore. Photos and paintings line the wall above the fireplace, but one of the frames is empty. Wait a second. What are these pieces on the floor underneath it? This photo is ripped, but it looks important. If I can piece it together again, maybe it'll reveal a secret. this photograph, and it's a young Remington, and then some other men I don't know. They're all holding rifles. Maybe I can ask Hopper about it. Remington's desk is covered in drawings and maps and notes. It's all about Boggy. He was obsessed. An ink bottle spilled into his work. I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose. Yeesh, it's a bit of a mess. Perhaps there's something underneath those drawings. It's a note addressed to Richard Remington. The handwriting is immaculate. Richard, our man of the world. A little help is in order. We're worried that the efforts regarding our elusive little friend might be in vain. Send word when you can. The letter is signed FF. And attached is a blurry little picture. It's some kind of metallic insect. The whole thing is a mystery. It's a... It's some kind of... Vincent Vanderpeer's business card. There's a couple of numbers scribbled on the back. Vincent Vanderpeer. There's a couple of numbers scribbled on the back. Vincent Vanderpeer. There's a couple of... Vincent Van... It's a letter. Before, my dear, I received, but I've only I feel like my time in this awful swamp might finally come to... Oh, there's a map of the swamp lying on the desk. It's been annotated in a few places. It's a letter Remington was writing before something caused him to spill his ink bottle. My dear fellow, I received your note 2 weeks ago, but have only recently found the time to do the appropriate research on the matter. I feel like my time in this awful swamp might finally come to a close. All due to the simple realization, the rest is obscured. What a tease. There's a map of the swamp lying... There's a map... This is the creepiest office I've ever been in. Ever. These animals... They're not... I don't recognize any of them. No way. No way. Is this... a werewolf? These animals... I don't... Hunting memorabilia. Claws, teeth. It would be an impressive collection if it wasn't so disturbing. These animals... I don't... I probably shouldn't leave until I've searched a bit more. This is the creepiest. Remington's desk is covered in drawings and maps. It's all about Boggy. An ink bottle spilled on... Yeesh. It's a bit... Perhaps this... I don't know what's in that jar, and I wish it wasn't in there. I'm gonna stop looking at it now. An old hunting rifle, discarded carelessly near the window. This isn't the kind of thing I can ignore. Something happened here. There are signs of a struggle between the desk and the window. Something happened. There are some... It's a sharp metal poker for a fireplace, hidden in the shadows. Something about those 3 prongs. I feel like I just stumbled across an incredibly important piece of evidence. Have I uncovered a secret in here? The hunting photo is historical evidence that Richard Remington belonged to a secret society. I'm getting a strong feeling that Remington might be the bad guy in this story. If he wasn't already dead, I would have loved to ask him a couple of questions. I should ask around, see if I can gather any information about his motives for being here. You said you knew Remington?
He and I knew each other for a long time. I came to work at his tourist attraction in the early days, when he needed help.
Well, what kept you here?
I know most people wouldn't want to work in a place like this. I actually like it here, so I was happy to oblige.
You might like it, but I still don't see why anyone would build a tourist attraction here.
Mr. Remington has his reasons. He probably had several. I don't presume to know what they all were. Even though we were friends, he had some secrets, some hobbies, that I was happy to let him keep secret.
Secrets? Hobbies? A secret hobby?
He was a man with a dream, I can tell you that much. Someone made a costume to look like the creature. They must have known it would get a reaction for sure. But I wonder if they planned things to go this far.
When you're finished theorizing, I was going to show you these sketches I found in the trash can right next to your cafe.
It does seem like someone was designing a costume. A disguise, perhaps.
I don't know.
Try to think why somebody would do such a thing.
I don't know.
What could they achieve with it?
I don't know!
Not yet. One of Mr. Remington's secrets. I never wanted to know the details, but these men travel the world, seeking mysterious animals to hunt. They consider myths and legends to be the ultimate prey. I can't help you with that one. Sorry. Why don't you show that to someone else?
I found these designs for a boggy costume. Do you know anything about them?
You're asking me because you can tell I'm experienced with needlecraft and sew my own clothes?
No, but that's a good reason. Let's go with that.
Well, these designs look like they should have stayed where they were.
In the trash?
On paper.
Oh, how come?
Whoever drew them didn't really know what they were doing.
You would have done it differently?
Of course. I am a seamstress. There was a time when I considered sewing my craft, my livelihood.
Really?
When Richard Remington arrived in the swamp years ago, I offered him some of my handmade fabric as a peace offering. I don't think he cared much for it. Most likely he threw it away. A pointless gift from some strange woman. If you bring me something with liquid on it, I might be able to help you.
Let's see. First, then tap. And now... Got it! Now I know what that liquid consists of. I'll write it down in my notes. The swamp slime. It's all the same. It's the exact same liquid again. There's something about that green slime. The fireplace poker is proof that the black leggings are covered in the same swamp slime. Maybe I just... The fireplace poker found at the crime scene and the black leggings are covered in the same swamp slime. Sally's leggings. They link her with the crime scene. I'll have to ask her about it. You've been here so long, you must have crossed paths with Remington a few times. What did you think of him?
That man was a threat to the swamp. We'll be better off without him. Hopefully the curtain will fall on his little tourist attraction as well.
Better off? With a killer on the loose now?
There have been murderers loose in the swamp before.
What are you talking about?
In my time here, I've seen the swamp invaded by men. By hunters. Several times. They're relentless.
What were they hunting? Wait, what about Boggy? Is that why no one has seen him in 60 years?
They always fell short of their ultimate goal. That just meant they came back again and again, doing more harm each time.
But this area is protected by law, right?
It is now, but some men have no respect for laws, of any kind. They tried to get me to leave my home. I stood my ground.
Obviously. But this whole area is a tourist attraction now. I doubt Remington would have allowed anyone to march into Boggy's Bog with a gun and start hunting down its main attraction.
I recognize some of those men, unfortunately. They've hunted in the swamp before.
Before it became a protected area?
Before that, yes. And one of them after that. You can put that away. I can't help you with it.
I have a theory that the murderer was wearing a costume, a homemade outfit designed to look like the swamp creature.
I've never seen anything so ridiculous. You'd never see me in that.
I know it's not exactly the latest fashion, but...
No, you'd never see me in that. It would cover me up entirely.
That's the point of a disguise?
Look, detective. When you have legs like mine, you don't want to be wearing disguises.
Is that why you always wear those black leggings?
You've only just met me and you're making assumptions about what I always wear.
And making assumptions is the fun part of being a detective.
Well, you're right. I always wear these.
So what can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
I didn't have one. I think I spoke to him twice, ever. He usually seemed really busy, but more like preoccupied.
Preoccupied? Like he was thinking about something else? Something that wasn't this tourist attraction?
Who can say? What do old men think about?
What? Are you implying that I know the answer to that? The black leggings you found in your bag this morning. They're covered in the same slime that was on the murder weapon.
Everything in this swamp is covered in slime. What's your angle, Grimoire?
Your black leggings were part of the murderer's costume.
Costume? Is that why someone took them out of my bag last night?
Well, you know, I don't have proof someone else took them.
If I had been wearing them when I committed a crime, do you think I would hand them over to a detective the second he shows up? Besides, look at them. What do you notice?
They're loose and stretched.
That's right, someone else. Someone larger than me has worn these. They're stretched out, especially at the waist. It's pretty obvious.
So, let's see. Somebody stole them to use in their boggy costume, and then put them back in your bag when they were done?
If you say so. It's not my job to know all the details. It's my job to sell souvenirs. Do you want a souvenir?
Oh, my, yes, but only if you choose one for me.
You look like you could use something to wind up. You can take this one.
I found these designs for a boggy costume.
Oh, some ridiculous new merchandise for tourists to waste their money on.
No, I believe the murderer was dressed like this last night when they attacked Remington.
If they were trying to scare him out of the swamp, they should have spent more time making an accurate design.
What do you mean?
Well, this design is some bizarre hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character. It simply hasn't been researched properly.
What's wrong with it?
Well, those flippers? Pure guesswork. Nothing but foolish imagination. Nobody knows what Boggy's feet look like. No footprint has ever been recorded.
So tell me, Special Agent Folder, how would you do a better job researching it if nothing has ever been recorded?
Oh, well, that's, I mean, it's all a matter of taking the time to... It's just that... But there's no way anyone would believe... Nothing but foolishness.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
We didn't really have one, and now we definitely don't have one. But look, all I can say is that he was a coward who enjoyed watering down history for his own benefit.
What does that mean?
It means there are some chapters of this swamp's history that he never wanted anyone to know about.
Did he like you sniffing around this museum all the time?
I don't think he knew, to be honest. And even if he did, there's nothing he could have done about it. He has no right to this building. He knows that. We both know that.
Why not? It was part of his tourist attraction, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
I have a bone to pick with you.
Are you setting yourself up for a joke? Something about a lockpick?
Maybe. Who knows? Stop distracting me. I'm trying to interrogate you.
My apologies. Go ahead.
So, what are we showing Folder now? So, what are we showing Folder now? So, what are we showing Folder now? Where did I find this again? I found a lockpick at the scene of the crime.
Oh, apparently you did. Why does this concern me?
You already admitted to owning one of these, and how you're ever so happy to come and go as you please with it, am I right? Be honest.
Luckily for me, Detective, I was honest with you. I believe I have already explained that second lockpick before you even found it.
You lost your lockpick in the swamp and had to buy a new one.
That's right. I appreciate you finding it for me. However, I won't ask for it back. Apparently, it has since become some diabolical instrument in the art of murder.
Yeah, it's an important piece of evidence. What can you tell me about these designs for a boggy costume?
Nothing whatsoever.
You're sure you didn't see anything like this while you were filming yesterday? Wait, hold on a minute. What if
Don't you dare ask.
This costume isn't your doing, is it? Made for your movie, I mean?
My friend, there will be no costumed idiots within the viewfinder of my camera. I can assure you that.
What about your boggy movie? Isn't that gonna be, like, a guy in a costume, or a puppet, or one of those weird robot things?
Technology has been kind to people like me. We no longer have any need for such tomfoolery. I can create a perfectly believable swamp creature within the confines of a computer. Much cheaper, too.
I suppose you've met with our murder victim, Richard Remington.
Yes, I've been in and out of this place for a while now. Naturally, I've crossed paths with Remington a number of times. Good value, that one. A real raconteur, you know.
You liked him? So far, I'm getting the impression he wasn't the most popular guy around here.
Well, that much is clear, isn't it? The man obviously slipped up somewhere, made an enemy or two, and bam, that's that. You just can't be too careful, can you?
Yeah, I think he did have an enemy or two. Or three. But you liked him.
I respected him. Good head on his shoulders. Good business sense, that man. He understood how to make things work for him.
I heard this isn't the first time you've tried to film here.
Where? In the swamp? What are you talking about?
Remington has denied you the filming permission in the past.
Oh, that. Nothing but the natural process of being in a profession like mine. Every situation simply requires the right approach before the gears start turning smoothly. You understand, I'm sure.
Why did Remington not want you filming here? And why did he change his mind?
It wasn't even up to him. This area is protected, you know. There are certain rules, certain regulations. I encounter this kind of thing all the time, really.
That doesn't explain why he changed his tune. It's a little suspicious.
Why would you say that?
A famous movie director suddenly gets his way. I wonder how that happened. Time to use my notebook. Just drag an item onto the paper to draw the idea. That can't be it. Right. That's the one. I think you bribed Remington to get the filming rights.
Well, bribe is a strong word. It was just a little arrangement between friends. Nothing worth getting upset about. I simply promised him a cut of my next movie's profits. It made sense, since he owned the area anyway. Just a favor for a favor.
So you would have owed him money?
Only a small percentage, simply out of courtesy. And not for a long time, either. Oh?
I found these designs for a costume. A boggy costume.
Uh-huh, the legendary swamp creature.
Yeah, that's the one.
But these are just a child's drawings, are they not?
You think?
Perhaps. It's difficult to tell.
You saw Remington last night, but had you met him before? Did you know him?
I've never really spoken with him, but we've come into contact a few times. Vincent likes to handle that kind of work, and I like to let him.
What do you think of this place? The tourist attraction, I mean.
I can't say I like the idea of a natural area like this becoming commercialized.
I know! I just can't understand why anyone would even try.
I think Mr. Remington had his reasons. He looked like a man with a couple of secrets.
Like what?
I have no idea. If I knew, they wouldn't be secrets.
Oh?
What can you tell me about these designs for a costume? A boggy
It's
costume.
Boggy! I must admit, I've been a fan of his before I ever came to the swamp.
A fan? So you're interested in cryptozoology?
Oh, no, I meant, well, Boggy has been in all kinds of cartoons and comic strips. He's one of the greatest characters of the last 100 years. I've got some comics in my tent. You really should see.
But he was only discovered 60 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Well, I rounded up.
But what about his costume? Have you seen anyone wearing it?
I can honestly say I've never seen anyone wearing anything like that. And I'm a very observant person.
So what did Mr. Remington think of you? I mean, protesting in the middle of a swamp every day.
It wasn't his swamp. If he ever truly thought it was, then he was even more of a fool than he seemed.
But he didn't like you hanging around, right?
That man was exceptionally skilled at ignoring me. Ignoring anything he didn't like.
So, what, he just left you alone?
He expected me to get bored and go home. He figured I'd get sick of this place and he'd have it back to himself.
But he didn't want it to himself, did he? He wanted lots of people to come visit all the time, surely.
I'm sure it says that in the brochure. Yes. Show it to somebody else. No thanks, my friend.
What?
You're not a bad detective.
Well, I found the photo in Remington's office. It was ripped up, though. I think he was some kind
He
of...
was a lot of things. Don't lose that picture. And show it to Mr. Harper before you leave.
One of Mr. Remington's secrets. I never wanted to know the details.
Aha! The great detective returns. Did you run out of ideas? Need a little push in the right direction?
No need to push me, but the direction would help.
Like it or not, I'm here to help you.
I get it. You give me a map, then you magically disappear and hide behind a tree for an hour. You want me to be impressed?
Did you talk to all the suspects yet?
I'm working on it. You can't rush these things, you know.
Have you noticed anything unusual?
I notice that this is going to take longer than I originally planned, and I'm getting the feeling that I wasn't wrong about this tourist attraction.
What do you mean?
I had a hard time believing there could be a place like this here in a dark corner of a swamp. It didn't make sense, and it still doesn't.
Some things don't make sense straight away. You need to look a little closer.
At what? The mud? The water? The trees?
Nope. They've been here for years, and they're not to blame. They belong here.
She's gone again. Hiding in a bush, no doubt. I wonder if she'll ever tell me something I can actually understand. haunting memorabilia. It would be an impressive... There are bizarre and back down into those reeds by the... This is the creepiest office I've ever been in. Ever. Photos and paintings line the wall above the fireplace, but one of the frames is empty. Wait a second. This photograph and some other men I don't... Maybe I can ask Harper.